One day in early summer, Sir Topham Hatt called a meeting of the engines. "You have all heard," he announced, "of the thin clergyman. Isn't he the one who wrote stories about us?" ventured Thomas. "Well done, Thomas," agreed Sir Topham Hatt. "Sadly, he has now died, but this year it is 100 years since he was born." He paused. "To mark this auspicious occasion," he went on. "What's suspicious?" squeaked Percy, and then hoped Sir Topham Hatt hadn't heard him. But he had. "Auspicious, Percy. It means important," explained Sir Topham Hatt. "To mark this, important occasion, I have arranged for a bust of the thin clergyman to be unveiled here in a few weeks. Your duties will be adjusted so you all can attend. There will be a very special visitor here to unveil the bust." Some time later, Sir Topham Hatt spoke to James. "I have an important job for you," he said. "The crate with the thin clergyman's statue has arrived on the other railway. I want you to fetch it, please." James puffed off proudly. He felt even prouder when he began the journey back to the big station with the crate safely on a flat car. But just as James passed through Henry's tunnel, there was a rumble and an enormous crash. James's driver looked back in alarm. Part of the tunnel had collapsed behind them. The railway to the outside world was completely cut off. James stopped at the next signal box and his driver told the signalman what had happened. Later, Sir Topham Hatt sent Donald, Douglas, and Henry to repair the tunnel, but until it was mended, no trains could reach the other railway from the island of Sodor. "And no engines can get onto the island either," pointed out Gordon. "Pip and Emma are stuck on the other side of the tunnel, and they're supposed to bring the important visitors." On Thomas's branch line, the engines were worried too. "We've all got jobs to do on the day," said Thomas, "but what if no one can get there?" "Don't worry," soothed his driver. "Bertie and his friends are meeting trains on the other railway and bringing the passengers over." Sir Topham Hatt gave orders to carry on work as usual, but Gordon's trains to the other railway had to stop at the works station. Bertie brought him passengers, but Gordon complained it wasn't the same. Meanwhile, Percy had a smaller problem. "Why is everyone bothered about something that's broken?" he asked Toby one day. Toby was puzzled. "Broken?" he said. "What do you mean, broken?" "Well," explained Percy, "Sir Topham Hatt said it was a bust." "What's bust?" "The thin clergyman." "Poor man," said Percy sadly. Thomas, listening nearby, laughed. "The thin clergyman isn't broken," he chuckled. "A bust is a sort of statue with just the head and shoulders of a person." Percy cheered up at once. "Oh," he said, "that's all right then." "I just hope everyone can get here to see it," put in Toby. A few days later, Sir Topham Hatt announced that the tunnel had been mended. The inspectors worked through the night on their safety checks, and the first train allowed through was Pip and Emma. At the big station, the bust of the thin clergyman beneath a silk cover was ready. The engines waited anxiously. At last, Pip and Emma arrived, and the first person off the train was a prince. Sir Topham Hatt greeted him, and after a short speech, the prince pulled a cord. A silk cover fell to the ground, revealing a perfect likeness of the thin clergyman. "My parents," said the prince, "read stories about your railway to me as a child. There will never be anything like it anywhere."